headlines of VTV News. Top leader hosts reception for outstanding civil servants and workers. Response measures implemented in preparation for Storm Yagi. And later on in our world news, Brazil's largest city is cloaked in smoke from wildfires.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News, broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. On Wednesday morning, General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm held a meeting in celebration of the 79th anniversary of the August Revolution, Vietnam's National Day on September the 2nd, and the 55th anniversary of President Ho Chi Minh's testament with 150 exemplary individuals. They are recognized for the outstanding contributions in the excellent advice, effective service movement organized by the Vietnam Union of Civil Servants.
The exemplary representatives took pride in recounting the monumental achievements Vietnam has reached over nearly 80 years. They expressed deep admiration and gratitude towards President Ho Chi Minh, vowing to continue following his ethics and style to offer timely, precise, and innovative advisory services and to serve with dedication and a sense of responsibility. General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm highly praised the excellent advice, effective service movement, which has been embraced by trade unions at all levels. This initiative has fostered a spirit of innovation, creativity, discipline, and responsibility, driving successful task completion across various units.
It is essential to understand the people's needs to propose policies and strategies that can improve their lives. The current focus is meeting the socio-economic targets set by the 13th Party Congress, aiming for a 6.5 to 7% GDP growth rate this year.
General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm emphasized the need to maximize internal resources and leverage external support, with human capital being the most critical internal resource. He also addressed the issues of some officials avoiding responsibilities, evading decisions, and working ineffectively due to their fear of mistakes. General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm assured that the party and state will continue to refine the institutional framework, explore policy innovations, and create a conducive environment for officials to contribute effectively.
National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn on Tuesday paid tribute to late Chairman of the Council of Ministers Phạm Hùng and late Prime Minister Võ Văn Kiệt on his working visit to the Mekong Delta province of Vĩnh Long. He and his entourage offered incense and flowers in commemoration and gratitude to the late leaders, the outstanding sons of the heroic homeland of Vĩnh Long. He also requested party organizations, local authorities, and people of Vĩnh Long continue to manage the memorial sites, thus attracting crowds of visitors and contributing to educating the revolutionary tradition to young people. Storm Yagi, the third storm of this year in Vietnam, is expected to continue strengthening and could potentially reach super typhoon status before making landfall. The National Center for Meteorological Forecasting expects Storm Yagi to make landfall by Saturday evening in coastal areas from Quảng Ninh to Ninh Bình. Currently, the storm is moving westward at a speed of 10 to 15 kilometers per hour and is forecasted to continue intensifying, reaching its peak strength at level 15, with gusts up to level 17. All scenarios for the trajectory of Storm Yagi predict heavy rainfall, posing a significant risk of flash floods and landslides, especially in mountainous regions as well as urban flooding. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development held a meeting with several ministries, departments, and 11 localities in the northern and north-central regions to plan responses to Storm Yagi. The ministry requested that local authorities guide boats and ships to steer clear from dangerous areas. Efforts are required to protect vulnerable dikes, prevent landslides, and evacuate coastal residents. Some localities with high numbers of tourists were requested to quickly devise plans to provide transportation support for stuck visitors. Mountainous areas should prepare plans to respond to heavy rain, flash floods, and landslides. As Storm Yagi continues to intensify, authorities in many localities, especially border guard forces in coastal provinces, are urgently supporting ships at sea to return to safe shelters.
The Baiklong V Border Guard Station in Haiphong has coordinated with Radar Station 490 to track vessels still operating at sea, urging them to quickly escape dangerous areas and return to land. In Quang Ninh, border guards have been mobilized to help fishermen bring their vessels safely ashore. Units are adjusting response plans according to the storm's developments, closely coordinating with captains and vessel owners' families and notifying ships of the storm's position and trajectory. The Border Guard Command of Quang Ngai Province has requested all vessel owners' families to maintain contact by all means with ships currently in the Gulf of Tonkin and the sea area of Huang Sa Island District. On Tuesday afternoon, Quang Ngai Province notified all 680 ships operating in these two fishing grounds about Storm Yagi's developments and guided them to move out of dangerous areas. Currently, Quang Binh Province has 584 vessels with over 2,000 crew members operating at sea. The number of ships still operating at sea in Quang Tri is 31, with 273 crew members. The border guards of these two provinces have requested units to coordinate with local authorities and families to notify ships to find shelter and maintain communication with vessel owners to proactively guide and handle any adverse situations that may occur.
Coming up next, raising supplementary funds for transportation projects. And Vietnam wins big at World Travel Awards 2024.
When it comes to business, it's crucial to choose a smart location with global impact. And Vietnam might just be the location for you. Connect worldwide to advanced logistics networks. Smart hub for technology and innovation. A dynamic business ecosystem. An environment with a competitive edge.
Welcome back to VTV News. Various critical transportation projects have already utilized all of their allocated funding for this year. This forms the basis for the Ministry of Transport to provide additional funding to these projects aimed at accelerating progress and ensuring infrastructure quality. Our report on the additional funding in the following.
The Vung Ang Bung Expressway project in Quang Binh Province continues to ramp up its pace with over 60 construction sites, nearly 850 pieces of machinery, and thousands of engineers working diligently. Contractors have indicated that they will take advantage of favorable weather conditions to increase shifts and working hours.
Before the rainy season, we plan to complete the entire roadbed of the main route.
In addition to increasing working hours, we are also planning additional pay for overtime to our team.
Following an assessment of the funding absorption rates of various projects, the Prime Minister has allocated an additional $520 million to the Ministry of Transport. This amount is equivalent to the average investment capital of 3 localities.
In early August, the Ministry of Transport provided us with an additional $30 million. This is crucial funding for the project. This month, we will disburse over $4 million.
Before this year's rainy season, we will complete the entire route. By the end of this year, we aim to finish all the base and sub-base layers of the project.
To date, the Ministry of Transport remains among the highest in terms of public investment capital disbursements nationwide. By the end of July, more than $1.2 billion had been disbursed, achieving over 49% of the allocated plan. However, to achieve the disbursement of more than $3 billion now with the additional funding, the ministry needs to disburse another $1.8 billion within the year, presenting a significant challenge as many projects are still in preparation phases.
A month ago, the very first batch of emission-reducing rice was harvested in the Mekong Delta city of Cần Thơ. This was a pilot model for the Sustainable Development Project, which aims to cultivate 1 million hectares of high-quality and low-emission rice in line with green growth in the Mekong Delta. More in the following.
For the first time, Nghia took part in a pilot model aimed at reducing emissions in rice cultivation. He faced several changes. He had to apply new methods, including advanced seeding machines, innovative fertilizers, and alternating wet and dry water management techniques.
I strictly implemented the 4 rights, which include only spraying pesticides when there is a high density of pests and diseases. I used to spray pesticides immediately after seeing a pest.
Farmers used to worry about pests, diseases, and declining productivity. Now, their fields are full of grain awaiting harvest. This is a testament to their confidence in sustainable production methods. This autumn-winter crop's yield is estimated at 6.6 to 6.9 tons per hectare, with profits also on the rise.
The price of a kilogram of rice is 0.35 USD, with a cost of 0.14 USD. Thus, farmers enjoy a full profit of more than 0.12 USD for a kilogram of rice.
Positive results from pilot models in Mekong Delta provinces demonstrate the right direction for improving rice production efficiency and protecting the environment. Local authorities aim to reduce input costs by 30%, increase rice farmers' profit margins by 50%, and cut greenhouse gas emissions by 10%.
Rice yields can range from 3 to 7 tons per hectare per season, and even higher if farmers use modern methods.
In the near future, selling carbon credits from these rice fields will provide additional income for farmers in the Mekong Delta. This not only creates new financial value, but also serves as evidence of the shift towards greener, more sustainable farming practices, reflecting a positive change in farmers' mindsets and methods.
The agricultural sector has been shifting its focus from production to market demand. Alongside reducing production costs, developing agritourism has emerged as a sustainable measure. In Hà Tĩnh province, agritourism has been implemented in many localities with significant results.
Ecotourism area in Phu Lâm village, Hà Tĩnh province. Here, tourists can immerse themselves in the peaceful countryside and clean fresh air. The village has been endowed by nature with magnificent landscapes. Villagers are friendly and hospitable. These features have left lasting impressions on tourists from all over the world who come here to visit and experience the area.
We have been to many places, but when we come here, we have a strange feeling. Friendly people, magnificent landscape, lovely weather. Next time, I will definitely come back here with my friends.
In the province, visitors can also explore the Phuc Trek pomelo gardens. Here, they can participate in the pomelo production process, from caring for the trees to harvesting and tasting fresh fruits straight from the garden. This tourism model excites both adults and children, as it offers many interesting experiences throughout the tour.
Local people would love to welcome tourists here so they can experience the area. We hope they can help us promote our products.
The Province Center for Enterprise Development, Support and Investment Promotion has also partnered with travel agencies to develop community tourism programs, as well as agricultural tourism and ecotourism tours. These aim to help farmers have more income while promoting their homeland and culture to domestic and international tourists.
The province has many advantages for developing community tourism. In the future, tourism will become a key economic sector for the locality.
The province aims to achieve several goals by 2025, including having at least one recognized rural tourism area, ensuring 50% of rural tourism service establishments provide accommodation and food, and developing at least one model of a specific agricultural and rural tourism chain in each rural district with tourism potential.
As the new academic year starts this morning, Vietnam's education sector is expected to make a significant breakthrough when its new general education program is implemented in all elementary, secondary, and high schools. Additionally, the education sector is aiming for comprehensive reform of education and training this year. To achieve this goal, all schools and related departments have mapped out plans to upgrade educational facilities and equipment while improving human resources.
This solar-powered waste cleaning machine can collect waste materials on land and other floating garbage in the water. The machine is created by the teacher and students in this computer science class. That's how these students are learning how to apply the knowledge they've acquired from mathematics and physics in real-life situations.
I feel more engaged learning maths and science.
We integrate presentation skills and teamwork skills into teaching as they will help students become more confident.
Innovation has enhanced learning experiences and improved students' performance in many schools. However, many public schools in Hanoi are still facing challenges. Hanoi's Department of Education and Training has provided support for struggling schools in terms of teaching equipment and innovative approaches to curriculum design.
We'll send qualified teachers from high-performing schools to underperforming schools in rural areas, especially ethnic schools. This way, teachers can exchange their knowledge.
We will develop experiential learning in the classroom to boost students' engagement.
Upgrading educational facilities and equipment is one of the top priorities. The Ministry of Education and Training has mapped out a plan for this academic year. The ministry requires that the minimum ratio of upgraded teaching equipment for preschools and primary schools be at 60%, and that for middle schools and high schools at 57%.
We'll continue to strengthen the education system and innovation in the city to meet the national standards. We'll further provide support for underprivileged students.
We always prioritize the improvement of educational facilities, teaching equipment, and human resources to ensure the best quality of the country's education system, including the new preschool education program and general education program. In addition, we'll provide financial support to help higher education institutions upgrade their facilities and equipment and improve training for human resources in basic sciences and other cutting-edge fields.
Despite challenges ahead, all schools and educational institutions across the country have organized many activities to welcome students. All teachers are hoping for a successful academic year and a comprehensive reform in education and training.
Vietnam has collected a raft of prestigious awards at the 31st World Travel Awards, or WTA. The country was awarded Asia's leading destination, the leading heritage destination, and the leading nature destination, while Hanoi has been voted the leading city and leading city break destination. Ho Chi Minh City also won awards, taking the titles of Asia's leading business travel destination and Asia's leading festival and event destination. Hoi An's ancient town bagged the Asia's leading cultural city destination award for the 5th time in a row, and Ha Giang, the northernmost province of the country, made its debut in the category of Asia's leading regional cultural destination 2024. Meanwhile, the province of Hanam has been recognized for the first time as Asia's leading emerging tourism destination. These awards contribute to affirming Vietnam's tourism brand in the international arena. While implementing the government's program for building new rural areas, authorities and residents in many rural districts have sought out many ways to preserve the local culture through various social activities, including cultural movements. Together, they established folk clubs as a way to relax after work and strengthen emotional bonds among locals.
Local women in this commune spend time in the field during the day. Despite the stressful work, once their rice is harvested and household chores are finished, they dress up to go to a local folk club.
The folk club is like the food of our soul as we immerse ourselves in singing and dancing. These physical activities help us reduce stress after long hours of working in the field. We get very excited.
I feel relieved and uplifted. Singing and dancing help me improve my health and flexibility while boosting my motivation.
Folk clubs breathe new life into rural villages. Villages not only immerse themselves in the joyful atmosphere, but also contribute to preserving their local culture. For decades, the Hmong people have passed down their traditions and culture through the generations.
We'll continue to engage local residents in such social activities as environmental protection campaigns and patriotic emulation movements. We want to bring positive changes to rural communities in the future.
They often gather to practice singing and dancing, with many performances showing their love for the homeland and paying tribute to President Ho Chi Minh. Cultural activities not only promote patriotism and national pride in the community, but also help people live a healthy lifestyle.
Whenever I wear the traditional costume of the Hmong people in musical performances, I'm very proud. Hearing the sacred sound of the gong, my heart is filled with happiness. All villagers are very happy.
Thanks to huge support from the government and culturalists, the establishment of folk clubs in rural areas is expected to help local communities preserve their local culture, develop tourism, and improve their living standards.
Coming up next in our world news, Brazil's largest city is cloaked in smoke from wildfires. And Australian researchers create lab-grown blood stem cells. A group of America's largest credit rating agencies have been fined more than $49 million for record-keeping failures. Moody's Investors Services and Global Ratings and Fitch Ratings are among a group of 6 rating agencies which have settled charges with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. Moody's and S&P agreed to pay $20 million each, while Fitch agreed to pay $8 million. According to SEC, the firms acknowledged that they violated a record-keeping provisions of federal securities laws. According to the U.S. law, if allegations of misconduct arise, financial companies must be able to produce records for regulatory agencies to investigate. Residents of Brazil's largest city, Sao Paulo, are struggling to breathe as a wave of intense wildfires blankets the region in a thick toxic smoke. The region has experienced the highest number of fires in almost 2 decades, around 25,000 for the January to July period, according to official monitoring.
According to the National Institute for Space Research, the smoke arrived in Sao Paulo after traveling up the slopes of the Andes and returning to Brazil via Paraguay. It's a common route, but it becomes more visible with the state's climatic conditions, high temperatures, and an intense drought period.
In the past few days, I've noticed that the air quality is worse. When I look at the sky where I live, I see a more overcast, more grey sky. It always seems like it's going to rain. So, I think this is different from other days, and I have also been experiencing respiratory symptoms.
Right now, I have a very inflamed throat, and I'm going to the hospital to get checked because it's really bad. Even drinking water, even hydrated, it's not helping. Deforestation greatly affects Sao Paulo, and everyone feels it.
The fires, exacerbated by extreme heat and drought conditions, have led to visibility issues affecting transportation and have raised concerns over public health due to respiratory hazards. Sao Paulo civil defense officials have issued a high-risk alert for fires in several regions until Friday.
Rising temperatures should trigger a global red alert, the United Nations Weather and Climate Agency chief said on Wednesday, after global heat indices again smashed records in August. According to preliminary data from the World Meteorological Organization, the world saw record average temperatures in August for the second year running. Australia, Japan, parts of China, and Norway all experienced their hottest August on record. Scientists warned that climate change manifested as global warming is increasing extreme weather events. Human activities are the primary cause of climate change and record high temperatures. Australian scientists have made a world-first breakthrough creating lab-engineered blood stem cells that closely resemble those found in the human body. The discovery is expected to pave the way for lab-grown cells to treat children with leukemia and bone marrow failure disorders. Stem cell transplants, also known as bone marrow transplants, are commonly used to treat leukemia, while blood cell cancer and bone marrow disorders because of the ability of stem cells to self-replicate and create red or white blood cells and platelets. However, finding a perfect donor match for a transplant is often difficult. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.